Hi, welcome to Cherie's Weight Loss Journey. We are out and about today, right? Because we swapped our shift. And it is Tuesday, mardi, right? The day of Mars. Okay? Of course, my dog was like, "You're gonna take me with you, aren't you?" And I'm like, "No. Mm-mm. If I don't grab that leash, that means you're not coming with me." Right? And this is kind of the same way we feel like, when we're in partnership and, our partner has to go out and make money. Typically, in the past, it would have been the man, but it could be the woman or it could be the mom, right? So anyway, I was woken up, I'd say about 3:30 today. And I'm like, no, I'm not getting up. Okay? I am not getting up. Look at all this traffic out here at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like, no, I'm not getting up. So I end up meditating, right? Because like I said, whenever I don't do anything, my mind is going into hyperdrive. So anyway, I'm sitting up here trying to force myself to go back to sleep, right? I'm trying to force myself to go back to sleep. And anyway, damn, look at this asshole got all his lights on. Look. See? Got all his lights on. So anyway, I'm sitting up here trying to figure out raggedy ass truck too. Raggedy. Like I'm so important I got to get to work. It's like, motherfucker, if you really got to get to work, you should have left earlier. You should have left fucking earlier. Maybe you should have gave yourself a whole hour to get there so you wouldn't be panicking trying to get to work. So, yeah. He came up on my ass and I was like, I slowed down. Like, yeah, you gonna go around. Just for that. Right? Because I can't help it. That's that Gemini in me. It's like, you want to be an asshole? I'm going to mirror that shit back to you so fast, you going to think it's you. Yeah. So, now I'm not used to being out here during the weekday. Right? Because, I be moving around in silence for real. Right? I try to move when other people are moving. All that. When I move, you move. Right? Because a lot of times when that happens, some toes get stepped on. Okay? Which is one of the reasons why I didn't take the highway. Like, we're not going to take the highway. We're going to take the back way. Yeah. So, anyway, getting back to what I was saying. I woke up myself to go back to sleep, right? And as I was trying to force myself to go back to sleep, of course, there was all of this activity, all of this energy, all of this energetic activity, right? So my mind is like, okay, let me put my sensors out here to see if I can feel some other heartbeat besides my own, right? And yeah, I did. I picked up on some additional heartbeats. And I'm like, okay, at least they're human. Okay, or at least they're 3D, right? Because everything in the 3D that's alive gotta have a heartbeat, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to home in on the fucking heartbeat, and the fucking heartbeats is scrambling around, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I got another fucking rat up in here. Okay. So, anyway. Hold on. Okay. So yesterday afternoon, I decided to begin my collagen supplement routine, right? I bought some D3 also that I'm going to start as soon as it starts getting dark around 5:30 p.m. And yeah. So that's commencing. So when I get home, I'm gonna drink me a glass of the collagen. I also bought some Quest, right? This one is supposed to be 21 grams of protein, and it's supposed to taste like a s'more. Although it kind of tastes like a s'more, it got a hint of being a s'more-like taste. So that's cool. I like Quest. I was tempted to buy their protein chips, right? But I'm not too keen almost paying $3 for a small bag of chips, right? So I didn't opt for that. But I was excited about buying me a couple of boxes of the Nature Valley almonds, sweet and salty. Those things are so good for me, for me. Yeah, I bought 2 boxes, and started in on them last night. Okay. So anyway, I decided to try one of the Quest bars instead of drinking a protein shake. Because the protein shake, yeah, it would have gave me 45 grams of protein. But I was excited to try the Quest bars. So I brought my turkey casserole, fortified with the chickpea noodles. I brought 2 egg breakfast sandwiches, right? So I should be good. Instead of bringing my typical water bottle, right, I also bought me the sparkling water from Walmart. I was like, yeah, I haven't had the sparkling water in a minute. Yesterday, I also bought the diet root beer soda pop, right? And like, yeah, it was good. It was good. I felt like I was really indulging. I did. I felt like I was really indulging. Right? But we're still on track. We're still on track. We still got a month and a half to go, to achieve our goal. Okay? So, I'm very curious about this heartbeat thing that was going on. Very curious, right? Where I don't want to just hone in on other people's heartbeat. But sometimes, we want to do more. Then I started getting visions, right? Visions while my eyes was asleep. Not asleep, but closed. So it was a very interesting morning, to say the least. To say the least. So I think these were like indicators for me on how this Sagittarius season is going to be for me, right? Because Scorpio season is about transformation, right? And you really don't know exactly how you're going to transform, until, the transformation occurs. Okay? So I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to be nice, I'm going to go through Sagittarius season with a lot more intensity on some of my clairvoyance gifts. And I'm like, okay, that's going to be nice. That's going to be nice. understand. What you have to understand is when you have any kind of clairvoyance, you're going to have a lot of people who are going to be jealous, right? Especially the ones who have to do rituals, to try to manifest what they want, but yours come gifted, okay? So, because of that, you're going to have to be more keen, more aware, of just who your enemies are. Because you may not think you have enemies, but people are going to see you as an enemy, right? And I kept thinking, well, why would I be an enemy? I'm not bothering anybody. Okay. Right. Then it was like, okay, now first of all, you speak the truth. I'm like, yes. And then you have a lot of people who don't speak the truth, right? Who are these people? These people love secrets. And not only do they love secrets, but they also love to pontify their lies. Like, okay, all right, and it's like, but when you come around, you take away their shine of confusing people with their lies and all of these secrets that you don't give two damns about. Okay? And I'm like, oh, well, shit. Okay. So this is why you have to be aware that even though you don't have any enemies, that people will feel like you're their enemies because they have secrets, they have lies, and they pontify. They on their podium, boasting, projecting. Okay? And I'm like, okay, so surely you're going to understand how people are going to feel about the fact that you've just revealed to them the reason why they hate Trump, right? The reason why they hate Trump is because there was Diddy who made this huge move to hypnotize people, and he has the ability to do it, right? And I showed you, his ability to do so was because he had stelliums in Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Okay? He had this stellium and he was doing black magic to do it. Right? This is how a poor black man was able to search for greener pastures, right? Because he was always looking at the lawn being greener on the other side of the fence. He did not believe that you build from within. He was always out there chasing and you know, he did a lot. Okay? He did a lot. He went a lot of places. And, yeah. This raggedy ass van was following me for a long time. I'm hitting the lights at yellow and he's coming behind me. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But he didn't want to follow me in his raggedy ass van into this rich neighborhood. Right? So my whole thing is, you know, black people have been saying that they're being mistreated and they're the victim. And yet, we have complete different races where black people and white people have tried to get along. Right? We have the Arabs, we have the Mexicans, we have the Chinese, we have the East Indians, we have the Indians, and we have the Samoans. Okay? All of those populations are as a result of interbreeding. And yet, the main reason why black people, black men specifically, get stopped in their tracks is when they try to dominate. And they keep saying, oh, no, you know, black people were enslaved. No, black people sold their kids. They sold their kids because of their many wives. They couldn't send their kids to school. They couldn't feed their kids. So they sold their kids. And their kids didn't even know they were sold. Right? I mean, if you're going to sell somebody to do any kind of labor, first of all, they're not educated. Second of all, they really don't have any experience or skills. What are they going to do? Right? The only thing they can do is do what they're told. And the sad part about it is, a lot of black people, they don't want to be told anything. Well, they don't want to be told anything, and they don't want to be told what to do. Okay? So, I'm watching a documentary yesterday about the EU, right? And how the EU has given Libya some financial support so they could stop the thoroughfare of these Africans trying to pass through Libya to get to Europe. Right? So what the black people tried to say was, oh, Libya is paying I mean, Libya is getting paid to stop the black people, and Europe should be held responsible for inhumane treatment. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Right? And they're like, well, we're claiming asylum. And it was like, okay, well, if you're claiming asylum, it has to be investigated, right? You're going to have to give the government proof. You're going to have to tell them, who, what, where, when, and how. You had to, leave your country. Right? And why? And it's like they don't want to do that, right? Because they know that either it's not true, right? Or their allegiance is still with their country. So then it was like, okay, so what is it that you want, right? They put them in ICE, right? And they're asking them, what is it that you want? And they're like, we want to stay here. And they're like, but you don't have any jobs. You don't have any money. You can't just stay here, And if somebody tries to make a job for you, you can't expect for somebody to make up a job for you to do and pay you more than their own salary. That's like if I'm making $30 an hour, and somebody is coming up to me talking about, can you give me a job, please? Can you give me a job? And I'm like, look, I'm only making $30 an hour. I can't afford no slaves or no work. I can't hire out nobody, right? And then, they're like, well, I'll work for anything. I'll work for food, And so then you're like, well, shit, they must be really desperate. I'll give them a little something. And then they'll turn around and call you inhumane because you gave them a little bit of something. And I'm like, that's a lot of game, right? You're going to keep playing these games, and these games are going to get you fucked up. For real. Because they're not even going to play with you no more. Right? So, when they stop playing with you, they put your ass on a bus and take you to the border and drop you off. Then they showed them at the border, because first of all, they refused to get off the bus. We're not getting off the bus. So they had to beat their ass off of the bus. Like, you getting off of this bus. And don't come back here. If you come back here, you'll be violating the law and you'll be shot. Right? And they're trying to tell the public, that's so inhumane. Right? But these people, they're leaving their native land, their homeland, without money, without papers, and they're just, jumping on somebody else's porch and telling them, take care of me. If you don't take care of me, you're going to be inhumane. Now, it'd be one thing if it was a baby. If it was a baby, it was like, shit, they can't take care of themselves. But these are grown people. Grown people. So, yeah, it really bothered me. And then we see this happening even here within the states, right? You have black people who are living just as much as the average white man, the average white boy, right? They're not happy, right? They want to live like the wealthy. Like, no, I want to live like the wealthy, right? And then they wonder why, white people are disgusted with them, because they're like, look, we don't even have mansions. Why do you want a mansion? So anyway, I was watching this other video where this man had a wife, and she was a nurse, and they had raised their kids, right, in a big 5-bedroom home in a nice area, right? But the kids are now grown and they have moved out, okay? And the wife is like, look, you're on disability. I can't afford to take care of the place. You're not happy. You're buying things, and she's telling the police how violent he's getting, and and she's having to work 7 days a week just to keep things going. I'm like, dang. 7 days a week. So she's got a home and she's never at home. He's at home and he's just buying a bunch of shit, right? But he's not doing no repairs. She tried to tell him. Said, look, instead of doing all of this buying, why don't you do some repairs? We've been here in the house. We've been here so long, the house needs maintenance. Right? They have he had bought 3 or 4 brand new couches, and they were still wrapped in the plastic. Just taking up space, and they still have the old furniture out, and it was just crazy. Now, he could be suffering a hoarding situation, right? Because it happens, right? Men don't typically exhibit, the empty nest syndrome the same way that women express their empty nest syndrome. Right? They typically, have a midlife crisis. That's what they call it for men, because of the way that they express themselves, when they're starting to feel the onset of having an empty nest. And but anyway, what his actions had led him to do was to have the police come about and take him to jail for domestic violence, and give the wife, enough space and time to decide, is this the beginning of the end? And if it is, she better make some moves. She better make some moves. This woman was like, she had worked at the hospital for 18 years, and she was telling She was telling the police, she's not trying to lose her job because she's so close to receiving her pension. She would lose everything. She would lose everything. And the police was telling her, well, you have options, since you don't have any kids, and if he refuses to leave, you can take residency in a motel or even a shelter if you have to, and then get the proceedings going for your divorce. And it was like her whole world just started shattering right on camera, and she just started crying. She was like, this is not the way that I wanted this to go. This is absolutely crazy. And the police was, sympathetic and told her, says, of course you didn't want it to go this way. You're not to blame for this. But at the same time, as you can see, the need for self-preservation is present. The man has been hitting on you. The man, when driving with you, has put you guys into dangerous situations. And, he's making your life miserable by breaking up brand new dishes in the garage so that you can't park your car in the garage. Yeah. It was sad. It was sad. But getting back to the point that I was making was, here you have all of these different scenarios where people have compromised, have tolerated, behaviors that should have been unacceptable. And then when, you try to tell them that their behavior is unacceptable, they go into beast mode, right? They double down and they triple down on, on bullshit. And this is very typical of what I see, when it comes to black men throughout history. Right? Even their ideology that they think that they can only progress if they go out and they do what other people are doing and then compete with them and try to do it better and then knock those people down and then say that they're the victor. And it's like, are you crazy? Are you crazy? Right? And then you try to tell them, look, if you would just go to counseling, you can get reprogrammed. They'll give you some reprogramming, and then they'll give you tools in which to handle your dysfunctions. And they're like, no, I'm not crazy and I refuse to go to counseling, right? And it's just like, well, if you're not crazy, then just go to therapy and counseling and see, a psychiatrist, just for the sake of proving to yourself that you're wrong. No, I ain't wasting my time that way. And it's like, what the hell? You know, it's that saying, you know, you could take the horse to the water, but you can't make him drink. Right? You could tell them, look, you're going to get left behind. And they're like, no, I'm not going to get left behind. I'm not going to let you go forward. And it's just like, what? What the hell? Look at Dallas. Ooh-wee, 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 ooh-wee. So, anyway, that's where we're at, you know, and this is where we've been for almost 3,000 years. And it's like, it stops now. It stops now, period. Right? Because the first place it's going to stop is the women are going to stop. Your black women are going to stop enabling your dumb ass. Your black women are going to stop shielding you when you're out here committing your heathenistic debauchery and shenanigans. Right? Because let's face it, black women are the first people that witnessed. Black women are the first people that witnessed the illicit business practices, the incorrigible rancid behavior and unethical and immoral conduct. They see it firsthand. Do they turn them in? No. Right? They figure, well, you know, either they'll learn, you know, through, you know, their consequences, or but even the black women, you know, they're in denial. That if they would have went ahead and said, hey, my child is incorrigible, he's exhibiting, you know, addictions, you know, obsessive compulsive disorder, unruly behavior, you know, instead of asking society for help, she lets it go. She let it go. She's like, so, yeah. This is how, you know, you don't even understand that you are irresponsible in neglecting to, you know, to get help outside of, you know, your immediate environment. Right? This is what I meant when I said, you know, that women are guilty of being enablers. Because there is no neutrality when it comes to the fact that everything changes all the time. You just can't be neutral and you can't be stagnant. Either it's going to progress or it's going to deteriorate. Period. So yeah, you know, um, instead of the cars, the houses, the clothes, the Gucci bags, it would be worth it for them to pay for the therapy that it would take for their children to be healthy mentally and spiritually. So yeah, and y'all have to stop playing the race card, because every time you play the race card, first of all, you want to be treated equally, but then you don't want to acclimate yourself to living the same lifestyle as the white people. How does that work out? I want to know. How does that work out? And you can say it's the same thing like male and female about equity. Okay. Let's talk about what you mean equity. Right? Where black men are saying, oh, no way are they going to be monogamous. Right? So even if you was to get the same amount of money, even if you was supposed to get the same kind of job, you're going to be spending a lot more money. And therefore, you're actually dealing with more people. Therefore, you're sharing your resources with more people, meaning that you're going to be poorer than somebody that's just sharing their resources with one person, or at best 2 people, or 1 person and some kids. Just like in my situation. In my situation, I'm sitting up here thinking, oh my gosh, it would be nice to have somebody that, could help me and contribute, to the overhead. What is the overhead? The basics, right? The place to live, the food, the cleaning, and all of that stuff, right? Well, first of all, I already know. A lot of these men out here, they're not going to help when it comes to the household chores. Okay, well, that's a negative. Okay, now they might help a little bit with the cooking, right? However, not the dishes. Now, if they cooking on their grill, right, their barbecue, their custom made deluxe outdoor grill, they might clean that. That's about it, right? They'll clean it by fire. there, and I've been ranting for about 50 minutes. You know, it's almost 7 o'clock and the sun is getting ready to rise. The weather's been a little bit cooler. Yesterday, it was dark and it was raining most of the day, and then about the afternoon, the clouds they blew off, so we had clear skies and sunshine in the afternoon. It was beautiful. We're pretty much in lower temperatures. My temperature gauge says it's 54 degrees outside. So when the temperatures are fluctuating like this, the best thing to do is to make sure that you're taking your vitamin C supplements, because your body is not used to these fluctuations, right? Especially here in Texas, we spent most of the summer in 90 and 100 degree weather, and now almost overnight, we've been dropping down into the 50s. Right? That's like a 50 degree difference. And if you don't think that's a fluctuation, where's your mind at? Where's your mind at? So yeah, there's a lot more people working throughout the week. I can tell just because of the way that there's no parking spaces up front. What else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, we're getting ready to go into Mercury retrograde. And Mercury retrograde is actually a time of mentally reviewing things that need to be reviewed. My suggestion is don't fight it, right? Don't. Review what needs to be reviewed, right? And we're going into Sagittarius season. Those of you who have transformed during Scorpio season, Now this is the time that you need to review and then build your new simulated philosophy that's going to go through the next cycle. Now, there's several cycles going on right now, right? You got Saturn, which is a 30-year cycle. You have Pluto, which is a 15-year cycle. You have Jupiter. I don't think Jupiter's in retrograde right now. But Jupiter, this is why a lot of people think that astrologists are witches. Well, they're not really witches if they understand that every cycle is different. Right? Now, Mercury is the fastest planet in our solar system. Right? The moon is a luminary. It's not a planet. It's a satellite. Okay? However, we do give the moon a lot of credit for the job that it does for the planet, because it does do its job. Now, most of the outer planets that I was speaking about, which is Saturn, Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus, those outer planets, in my opinion, unless you have significant placements in those houses, have less influence on your life. Like I said, unless your sun sign happened to be in those planets, then you have longer cycles. Okay? You have longer cycles. Right? Now, the first house, which is Aries through through Virgo, their cycles are not as long as the rest, if I'm making myself clear. Which is why a lot of people who are born after Virgo can feel as if they're kind of being left behind, but they're not really being left behind. You're just on another cycle. That's like if we were running track, you have some people that are running track, closest to the inside lane, and then you have those who are on the outside lane. But what's going on with the outer planets that are in retrograde, a lot of their placement right now is cusping two different signs. So they're now moving into the next sign, and then they're going to be starting that long cycle, right? Because Mars, Venus, the sun, the moon, and Mercury, they're all moving fast. They're just moving fast. And to understand it, how, astrologists would figure it is because one side is based off of having more sunlight, and because they move so fast that they do come across as being single-minded, for each of those tasks. Those tasks have to be focused, right? Not so much when you start thinking about the ones that comes after Virgo, which is Libra through Pisces, and they are slow-moving planets. Their cycles are long, and they're more plural-minded. And it's more dark, right? There's less sunlight during that time. And yes, when there's less sunlight, a lot of times it does seem like it's safer to be in a herd or a crowd when it's dark. Right? But when it's light, hey, you can go venture out as a nomad. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to cut this video off now. And thank you for watching Cherie's weight loss journey and her spiritual discussions, and how sometimes these emotional thoughts and spiritual thoughts affect the way that she wants to eat. Bye.